Hello, welcome to your practice. My name's Gwen. Today we'll enjoy 30 minutes together of some very gentle yoga with the intention of countering all that forward motion that we might be holding, known or unknown. So go ahead and place either a rolled up mat, a rolled up blanket at the top where you're going to lay. You might have a bolster. You can go ahead and grab your bolster now. Or some noodles that you use for floating around on the surface of water. They're great props for your yoga practice. Today we're going to use your mat as a prop. Place a block underneath the top to elevate the head, or a great use of your encyclopedias can prop up the head as well. You'll butt your butt up to that and then bend the knees and then unfold all the way down. Place the head at the top. Go ahead and wriggle around until you feel comfortable-ish. And then notice what you notice. Feel into your lower back, your legs. If it's better to have your legs bent, please do. Heel toe them a little wider. As wide as your mat maybe. Heels out, toes inward, and have the inner knees knock like a lean-to. Let them lean into each other. Feel into your lower back once again. If it's comfortable, leave it. If it's not feeling very good, if there's any pinching, burning, an uncomfortable feeling of some sort and dull ache, then you need a lift. You need to build the floor to you. So go ahead and place a blanket underneath the sit bones, the tush, or possibly a towel, a pillow. Maybe you have a squishy block. Go ahead and place that in there now. For some of you, you can let the legs come on out nice and long, one at a time. The feet can splay out. Palms down or palms up, knuckles heavy. Notice the back body now. A little rock to the back of the head from side to side. Take your time. Let yourself sink in. Dive into the breath nice and deeply into your inhale. Invite it all the way in and up with a light little pause at the top. Exhale. Inhale all the way in. And again. And let's call in our good friend, the Ujjayi breath, that translates as victorious. Cultivating this victorious feeling from the inside out as we invite this prana, this vital life energy from temples to toes. Go ahead and breathe in through the nose and then out through the nose. Ujjayi breath typically in through the nose and out through the nose. Inhaling full and deep in through the nose. Possible light little pause. And then out through the nose. Take your time. What is nasal breathing like for your body in this moment? Is it available? If it agitates your nervous system, big or small, leave it off to the side. Breathe any which way that feels good. Stay with us through your visionary skills now. Take that next breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Drop your awareness to the back of the throat. Feel the sensation. What does it sound like? Is there a wave-like sound? Can you amplify that sound? Can you turn it up just a wee bit? Notice how you feel. Have some fun through that breath as we connect to our core line through the breath. If you've been experiencing a little pain in the lower back, come to this breath, specifically these next two locks. So the first lock, our chin lock at the back of the throat. Then drop your awareness down to the base of the spine. Ignite this lock like you have to go to the bathroom. Hold. Feel a gentle lift of the pelvic floor. Very soft, very subtle. Soft lift of the pelvic floor now. Notice what muscles come to the party. Do the glutes come in? All the tush muscles. This is where the play is. Let go of those muscles, which I call the bully muscles. They are easy to come on in. It's difficult for that pelvic floor. So notice what you notice. Each exhale, a gentle lift, soft, soft, soft lift of the pelvic floor. A few breaths just like that. And then drop your awareness into the navel center, our navel lock. Each exhale, drive the navel a little closer to the spine. As you inhale, it'll lift. And as you exhale, gently draw it a little closer to the spine. Feel that gentle lift, and then you lower. Notice how the belly moves as we breathe like this, in through the nose and out through the nose. This all comes in naturally with the Ujjayi breath, our victorious breath. As we bring our awareness to all of these locks, called bandhas in yoga, you gain a little bit more control, a little bit more strength. So you can stay with the Ujjayi breath, or you can drop it from time to time and come to big gulps of breath in your yoga practice. Have some fun through the breath and notice how you feel. So I encourage you to stay with the Ujjayi breath while we transition now. Bend one knee and plant that foot, and then the other. Feel from the heel to the toes, give a little press, a little lift of the sit bones upward and then downward. Press evenly through the feet, evenly through the elbow to the fingers now. A little lift of the sit bones up, a little lowering. Notice the lower spine move. Very softly, come into that place where maybe you haven't experienced before. So maybe not as high. Lift as low just to get a piece of paper underneath the sit bones and then down. Maybe slightly higher than that and then lower. And then somewhere in between that, where we haven't traveled before, we might be easy to come to those high places, and then you lower. And then from here, very softly, we're going to roll off to our side. Go ahead and come to your side. You'll take the bolster out, or whatever you have underneath your back, out, and come nice and flat for a moment. A little body scan here. So drop your awareness all the way into the heels as we lay flat, possibly for the first time today. Notice what flat is like for your body as you relax as much as you can through the heels. Feel both feet splay out, and if they feel even. From the heels up through the Achilles, notice what's light on your mat and what's heavy through the calf. Up through the back of the knee. Pause at the knee and send them some appreciation, some love, some kindness. And then down through the thigh. Feel the fullness, the weight, and how far you're up off the mat. Through the sit bones, notice the evenness or unevenness. The lower spine. Feel the subtle sensations, how the body is speaking to you. The upper back. As we countered all of that forward motion, notice the weight of the back of the shoulders. It might feel like you're taking up plenty of space now. Like we're one with the mat. A little rock of the back of the skull. Notice a sensation in the neck. How is your body breathing now? And then come into some stillness here. Breathe into where you think the center of the brain is. Feel and sense that breath seep into that spaciousness. That laser beam connection through the brow to the back of the skull, from one top of the ear to the other. Feel into that intersection of the middle of the brain. Take the physical eyes with the eyes closed and look up. Bring the tongue to the roof of your mouth. And then relax the eyes. Relax the tongue. And breathe into the center of the brain. Send some love, some harmony, some peace, some laughter. If that comes in as a color, a flower, a beautiful pink rose, offer that to yourself, this loving kindness. Let yourself melt into the mat. Soften, soften, soften. And one more breath just like that. Then go ahead and bend up one knee, plant the foot, and then the other. With the knees bent, go ahead and we're going to do round the clock, or what I like to call it, hula hips. So we'll start by rolling over to one side and place one hand underneath that hip, palm down. Roll onto those knuckles. The other hand will come underneath the other hip, palm down, so that the thumbs touch and the first finger touches, leaving a diamond shape underneath the sacrum. So notice how that feels. And as you invite that next inhale in, feel the heart rise and the tip of the tail come over those fingertips. As you exhale into the navel, flatten that spine and notice how that flat spine comes over the thumbs. As you inhale, you'll arc the spine, a light little back bend. Sit bones come over the tips of the fingers. Exhale, flatten the spine. Top of the pelvis comes over the thumbs. Inhaling, Coming over to the fingers. Exhale to the thumbs. And one more for good luck. Then you'll pause there. Feel the right foot. Press it into the mat. Peel that hip up off of the hand. Let it come up, up, up. It'll feel like someone's pulling your knee forward. And then let it come down into the hand. Rock into it more. And then again, same side. Press into that right foot. Peel that hip off of the hand. The other hand might be getting quite a bit heavier. And then back downward. Notice how your body can move like this. 2 more. You peel that right hip up. And then you place it slowly down. Notice the smoothness. Can you go a little slower like the second hand of a clock as you peel it up off of the hand? And then you bring it all the way down. And let's move right over to the other side. The other foot, the left foot, up. That hip peels up. And then down. Gracefully, slowly moving like this. Notice how smooth the body can move like this. Is there any stickiness to this movement? Any places that feel a little stuck, or they're skipping over areas? Or is it smooth? Notice how you feel for one more. And how is the body breathing just like this? And then let's go from side to side. One side comes up off of the hands, and then you rock that back down, and then the other. From side to side we rock. For one more this way, and then one more that way. And then pause. And this is where we come into our hula hips, or those of you that know it for around the clock. So our pelvis is the clock. One side will be 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock, the tail will be 6, and the top where the thumbs are will be 12 o'clock. If that's complicated, just let it dance. Bring into your mind's eye that game that we've all played where we hold that coin upright on the side and we give it a little flick. And then it wobbles around the edges of that coin. That's going to be our pelvis. So go ahead and press into that right foot and let the right hip come up. Notice that left one get heavier. Then go ahead and bring 6 o'clock, the tail down over the fingertips. Let that left foot press and that left hip come up while the right one gets heavy. And then come over those thumbs with 12 o'clock. Notice how this feels like we're hula hipping. We've got the hips moving in a circular motion just like this now. The outer edges of the pelvis slowly moving. Feel 6 o'clock come down all the way over to that right hip and then the top. Slowly, slowly, slowly. And then how about a little bit faster? Playfully going just a little spinning around that circle, just a little quicker. A little quicker, a little quicker, and then slow it down. And then how about find that fierce grace now? Can we go the other direction? Notice what you notice, and how does that feel? Are there any clunking this way and the other way it was smooth? Notice if you can come out of that clunking by a little slower movement or maybe a little smaller movement. And how about one more, just like that? And then roll over to one side, take the hand out and then the other. Lengthen through one leg, let it splay out, and then the other. Knuckles heavy, and feel for a moment where you're experiencing your sensation. Breathe into it, where the energy is cultivating now. Feel into all of that prana in the fingers, the wrist, the lower back, all around the pelvis. Drop your awareness into the heels once again. Feel where you're light on the mat and where you're heavy all the way up the legs to the sit bones. Feel into that lower spine, the targeted area today. One side, the other. All the way up the spinal column to the shoulders, through the neck. A little rock of the back of the skull from one side to the other. Come into some stillness. Dive right through the brow to the center of the brain. Fill it up with your love, your attention, some kindness. Send it peace, harmony, joy, laughter. One more breath. Then go ahead and bend up at the knees. Drag your hips to one side and roll over to the other side. Use that momentum to carry you all the way up. We're going to come all the way up now. So if you have a piece of wall, come to the wall or the back of a couch. So you're going to get up at this point. So we're going to come all the way up and place our back against the wall. If you have a chair, place it in front of you. It doesn't matter if you don't have a chair. I'll put the chair beside us and I'll represent not having a chair. And I'll give you some ideas of how to use the chair. So your feet will be a couple feet away from the wall. We'll come into a somatic forward fold. Place the back of the head into the wall. We're going to unpeel our back body forward, but for a moment, feel the sit bones on the wall. They never leave the wall. Hands on the thighs, knees generously bent. Chin to chest. Walk the hands down and bend those knees. From here, you can leave the hands if that's the best for you today. Or you can bring the elbows to above the knees and hang on to the elbows. Thread the thumbs into the elbow crease. From here, if you have a chair, you can bring the elbows into the chair. You can place a bolster on the chair or some height if that's better for you and rest the head. Or if you're experiencing now where I am, let the head hang. Feel the sit bones and rock them from side to side. Come into the Ujjayi breath, our victorious breath. Connect to your core line here. And stay focused on the sit bones rocking. As they rock from right to left, feel them walk upward. And what are you experiencing? Can you feel that in the back of the legs? Come where you feel a little something, but not too much. Pause there. Let the head hang. Notice how heavy the head is with a light little yes, a little no. A little bit of movement in the head. In through the nose, nice and full and deep, and out through the nose. And one more just like that. Then let the head lift. Look at the toes. Press into the elbows. Bring one hand into the thigh and walk yourself all the way up and paste that back body into the wall. One palm and then the other. Thumbs at the sternum with a light little press. Take a deep breath. And one more breath. Let's do that one more time. Chin to chest. Bend those knees. Walk the hands down, down, down. Elbows just above the knees. Thread the thumbs into the elbows, to the crease, and let the head be heavy. A few deep breaths in through the nose. Feel the pelvic floor come upward on the exhale. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, carry that navel in. Walk the sit bones up. Pause where it just feels delicious. 3 more breaths. Feel into your locks, the back of the throat. Listen to the breath, the pelvic floor, the navel center. And one more breath just like that. On your next natural breath, lift the head. Go ahead and press into the elbows. One hand above the knee with a press and then the other. Pace the back body all the way into the wall with bent knees. Palms come together, a light little press. Thumbs at the sternum, the heart center. Give a little press, opening up the rib cage. The lungs drop in. Take a deep breath just like that. And then go ahead and come away from the wall just a wee bit. You can use the chair to sit on now to close our practice. Or you can use the wall to come down now to the floor. The leg closest to the wall, leave it there for the strength, and step the outer foot back. All 5 toes into the floor. Bend both knees all the way down. Outer hand, and then the other. You can come to the knees, and then you can come to a comfortable seated position, or come into your Shavasana laying down. Option to bring something with height under the sit bones to sit, if that feels better for you. Or you come into a Shavasana, final resting pose on your back. You can put something, a deeper fabric of darkness over the eyes, so an eye pillow, or maybe you can use a blanket over the eyes. Let your body rest for 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes here. Connect to your breath now. The muscles around the eyes soften. Feel the bones float in the connective tissue as we let go of the muscles. We let go of our grip, of that control. Notice how the body can breathe. Drop into that spaciousness that you've created through your dedication to self. Give yourself permission to stay here, or if you have some favorite poses that you'd like to add on, please do. Go ahead and bring the palms together in that deep appreciation for yourself, for showing up. If you'd like to stay laying down, you can visualize this next part. Thumbs at the sternum. Take a deep breath, a light little bow. Sending this loving kindness out to our family, our community, and the world. Namaste. Thank you for your practice.